Hi, everybody. Welcome to Great Minds Think Alike. I am your host, Binky, and our first guest.
Free.
We have our next guest.
Hi, my name is Frida.
This is Frida, y'all. It's my homie. Love me some Frida down.
My name is Ivy. I use she, her pronouns.
Well, yes, Ivy is a former Powers member, and we love former Powers members because Powers is great. And today we have the amazing, the talented,
Jericho, Jericho, that is.
my good sister from way back when. Love this person to death, to life. Love the person to life. And we are here to do a little paint therapy, and I'm going to ask some questions, and they're going to answer and see what come of it.
Yes, exactly.
So for a little bit of context, you guys, we are painting whatever scenery our mental health feels in the moment. It doesn't have to be a single object. It could be a palette of colors, y'all, I promise. Whatever your mental health is, that's your mental health, period. In recent years, there's been an uptake in healthcare media. In your experience, how has media around healthcare affected you personally?
I think that healthcare, I actually think about this a lot, especially like when I see therapists in media and stuff. I think that oftentimes it can be misrepresented and just portrayed as like much scarier than it actually is in person. There's like one show that I saw that I think did it really well. Can I say? Okay. It was called like Never Have I Ever. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Okay. And the main girl, she had this therapist where I was like, wait, she's me. I really liked her therapist, but I think a lot of other therapists and shows, I mean, not like there are not, really mean therapists out there, just like how there's mean people out there, but it can be portrayed as like really scary and maybe I think old hat is the word that I would use. Yes. Now, there really are problems with like this industry and also every healthcare industry. But I think it's also important to kind of portray the other side and like the good of it because it is already scary enough for us as like queer folk to even want to touch the healthcare anything, right? So TLDR, I think it just needs a little bit more of the good that it can do as well. I think Never Have I Ever does a great job of that.
Of painting that picture.
Like
in multiple aspects, I feel like overall it's affected me in a very positive light due to the fact that there's more conversations being around mental health and therefore less stigma. And I feel like that also results in information as well as like taking into account the misinformation that is spread due to like any like form of information being spread throughout the internet. There's always going to be misinformation. I do feel like overall though it is very positive.
I'll say for me, it affects me in like, I'll say positive ways, but also sometimes negative ways, depending on what they portray in the media. So I know right now they have like The Pit is on HBO Max. It's pretty good. It does like touch on a lot of like heavy topics, but it's very much needed. So that's a good thing. But then you have like other stuff that might not do it the best. So it can also like affect you, or like, 13 Reasons Why. When that one came out, that one was crazy. So, we have like some really good ones, but then we also have some that could be a bit not the best. But I'm glad that we do have some where it does highlight like mental health and like getting the help you need, being able to say that like you're not okay when you're not okay, and not feeling like you have to always put up a front of like, oh, like everything is rainbows and sunshine when it's not really always that.
It can feel like it's being thrown down your throat because it can seem fake because a lot of people go through real things every day. So when you open your phone and it's like, girl, go outside and have a good day, it's like, Miss Thing,
you're about to piss me off.
Yeah, you're about to piss me off.
You're about to be the reason I don't have a good day.
Right. And I think it also encourages people to just think things instead of feeling and believing things. And someone could, let's say, see something like that and then go outside and they're still dealing with their day and they don't know how to get through that. But that's not helping. So I think it's a double-edged sword because not everyone's
fully equipped.
Accustomed to things like that, or take the message for what it is and not letting Jade take over.
That is a really good word to use. That is a really good word. In today's climate, there's a disconnect with LGBTQ youth, self-care, mental health, and public opinion? What is one way that that bridge can be kept?
Yeah, I think that it's kind of about creating that safe community space where people actually can know that they can go to the elders of the community, because like there are people out there, whether they are few and far between, who are the elders in these communities who are happy to teach, but it's not always easy to find those people, right? So being able to have those safe community spaces, like for example, not even thinking about here, but like I went to Trans Picos and I did a screen printing thing, and it was like for anyone, because it wasn't like a drinking event or anything. It was just like, let's print and get together. But there were so many people there, so, and it was like very queer specific, of course, and it was like a very nice and kind community space. And I think when you open that space and you set those rules and you set those boundaries for safety, people will come. And when those people come, then they have the opportunity to facilitate their own conversations, you know?
It's important to just like, in addition to social media, in addition to queer people, especially with the state of the world, I think that's also just like taking the time to like create resources and areas to meet people where they're at. I think is also like important. Like, okay, like what does it look like for a specific individual to be like queer and like be on social media and like see all these messages are being sent to them, and how can they find some kind of like comfort in that that's both progressive and healing.
So I think a way that you can really tackle on that is being very understanding and being open-minded. Because I know, like, you know, when it comes to going to the doctor, it can be hard to tell your doctors like what you're going through, then also that you're queer. It's so many different avenues that you really have to like worry about when you go to the doctors, and that's not fun. And I feel like when you go, it makes it very hard to just be like really open about what you're struggling with, because it's like, what if they don't accept you as, you know, an LGBT person? And then you also have like some struggles with your mental health, and then now you have to tackle on that, and they might not believe you. And it's really hard. And I feel like you should really try to get doctors that really see you for who you are and see you as a person, and that
It's very simple. And to quote Lauryn Hill, it could all be so simple, but most would rather make it hard. Communication. And communication, taking accountability, being aware and actually doing research. I think those things matter. We wouldn't know an apple. I don't think we would know that an apple is an apple if God didn't just sit there like, all right, what this tastes like, what
to give, what a
an
game.
experiment. You have to see what's going on in order to move forward and actually be accustomed to today. No one wants to be open-minded. Everyone has their own rigid way, and not everyone, but most people. And that's really what's disheartening, because communication it could be so easy. And a lot of people are just stuck in their ways too.
How do you encourage people around you to explore their mental health journey?
I think I just ask people to be casual about it. Like, I think, like we're saying, like it gets so serious and dour that it's just like, dude, if you're feeling really depressed, you just need me to sit here and watch you play freaking Skyrim. I will do that. You know, like if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. Like it does not have to be grand. It does not have to be even especially targeted. Like if it just works, then it works. Like it's that thing where I'm like, just take that first step, you know? And like, I think it is also that recognize. Like that's my thing with friends, my things with clients, where it's like, you don't need to put all this work and effort into fixing something, into eliminating something, into like completely overhauling yourself. Like, no, let's just notice that this thing is here.
Let's just be for a second, y'all.
You know,
let's just be.
like let's just paint. You know, like
hello.
You know,
but it's like about seeing whether it's my loved one or like whoever's inquiring, seeing like what their thoughts or desires or goals are, and seeing how I can reach them, so like that they'll have inspiration and to want to like reach those goals, because I myself also tend to like struggle generally with like inspiration or just like drive, right? Who doesn't, especially with like everything that's going on. But I would say definitely that is like how I inspire people to
That's
want to keep up with their mental health. And
I'll say for me, I definitely try to reach out to my friends or people that I know, to really look out for yourself, get the help you need. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here if I have the capacity and I'm in the headspace able to like, be there for you. Reach out to me if you ever need any like resources. I have some that you can like, use, and also definitely talk to like your doctors and anyone that you feel safe with. Like that's like the first step. I try to let people know around me, like talk to someone you really trust, let them know what's going on, and let them know like it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have, mental health days, or you feel a bit off, or, life just sucks a little bit at times. And that is okay. You shouldn't feel like you're a bad person or life is bad because you have one or a few bad moments. Like, you know,
Well, one, I first let people know life is not fair. In this life, a lot of people are very selfish. A lot of people are very one track minded, and they stick to that. A lot of people don't want to change, and you cannot change people. I encourage people to actually acknowledge the fact that you have to do shadow work and understand who you are, what you want out of this life, and understand that life is not gonna just give it to you as well. You have to also make your reality your reality. Like, girl, I wasn't, nobody was thinking about being GNC face until I sat there and was like, Mystic, this is my identity, this is what I want, and I'm gonna go out there and get it. Every time I come out, it's what? Somebody screaming.
somebody screaming.
And the point in that is, at some point, I just have to stop being delusional and thinking that I wasn't enough. And I think a lot of the youth today thinks that from the door, and that's so heartbreaking to me, because everybody, one, deserves a chance, but also has their own story. So you living in your light is you living in your light. Nobody can move the light away from you. That's your light. It's not electric. It's just you.
It's just you. How do you prioritize your mental health while balancing a work life and other responsibilities?
I struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I struggle. I struggle with that. I think what you will find, and not to put any of my other therapists on blast, is that we actually tend to have pretty bad boundaries, like with ourselves in our personal time, because not like anyone else doesn't, but we spend all day caring for folk and we want to do that, and we are ready to overextend ourselves to do that. And I won't say that we're right for that. I just think it kind of comes with the job, and it is part of the job to find a way to have those better boundaries for yourself, right? So for me, work-life balance, and shout out to my girl Asha, sometimes I just have to take a day off,
Yes.
and she would bully me and be like, "Bree, you need to take a day off. You need to take a day off. Like, girl, you have time off. Take a day off. Whatever, whatever." I'm a lot better about it now, heavily thanks to her. But especially when I first started, like I would rarely like take a day off and be like, I have to go and I have to go and I have to go. And I still have those moments where I'm like, oh, I have to go and I have to work. I don't want to let anyone down or this or this or that. But it's still important to be like, if I want to show up for other people, I need to show up for myself. Right?
Literally.
Right. So
Literally.
there are those days where I'm like, I'm going to take a couple days off. I just need time to recharge. And that's also the thing, because not to brag, but I'm a socialite. So I also need to tell my friends I'm not going out. I need time for me.
Down.
And also not answering like a text the second it comes. Like it's just taking a moment for myself and allowing myself to choose myself, right? So that can.
So you're a scheduler. Like you make sure you have everything write things down.
Pretty much, yeah. As well as in addition to like what you were saying about hobbies earlier, taking the time to like see like what's liberating for me, right? Like some of my hobbies, like I really am happy that we're doing art because I really enjoy art. I think it's like what's something that you can do that brings you happiness. It's like a form of liberation
Mm-hmm.
that's works within your schedule. Like this is working within my schedule. Like I view this as like a form of like mental health because we're discussing it, and we're also like attending to some form of like healthy coping mechanism, which is like this whole session gives me like a art therapy kind of vibe, which is exactly what I'm really doing.
Art therapy, honey.
For me, I definitely try to set boundaries around certain things, like being very in tune with what my needs are. Sometimes it's hard to do that, but I still try to give myself some form of grace when it comes to that. But really trying to sit with myself and see like, hey, what do I need right now? What do I have the capacity of, like what I can do and what I can deliver?
Mm-hmm.
And really try to sit within that and really stay within that to make sure that I'm not overworking myself, I'm not burning myself out, it's not, affecting my mental health. So definitely setting boundaries.
Really, community, and maintaining and nurturing my beautiful hobbies and things that I love to do with myself and for myself. So most times when I'm out with community and we're just embracing one another, having a great time, that's really everything for me. And then other times I want to go into my den, get a canvas out, play some R&B, get some music going, some tea, you know.
And just let have.
Yes, have my journal, things like that, just to still check in with me.
What role does mental health play in success and productivity in your everyday life?
Well, I guess it helps that mental health is like my job.
Yes.
So that is definitely part of my success. However, I think all the little things that I do for my mental health throughout the day help me with my success, right? So like the Pokemon cards, I have a Stim toy right here on the table.
Yes.
Like knowing what's important for me to feel comfortable and doing all of that. I don't know. I think it's also just like, I don't know, just like it's really that continued centering of me and my mental health, and also making space for that. Like I'm in therapy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Every therapist needs a therapist.
That's very true.
I think I do this off of like a day by day basis.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall it helps in the sense of like it tells me what I need, right? And I feel like that's kind of like a double edged sword because hey, like maybe it's telling me what I need, and maybe it's telling me things that I don't want to think about or that I don't have the capacity to think about due to like managing other things as a young adult. And I think that's the best way I can answer that question.
I'll say it definitely plays a big role within my life in all aspects. Like sometimes when like stuff hits the fan, my mental health can get like really bad at times due to like, feeling like, oh, I didn't meet this goal, or this relationship didn't work out, or I thought these particular patterns, like I stopped, but then I noticed I didn't stop them. So sometimes it can be really hard, but also in like that moment, understanding like, healing isn't a straightforward line. Sometimes it's up, down the hill, it's around the corner, it's a zigzag, it's like just really being able to be in tune with yourself. Like, hey, like I'm noticing a pattern, and this is a pattern that I still want to change compared to like years ago where I wouldn't have noticed that before. So
Well, actually, a huge role because I have to check in with myself most of the time before I do a lot of things. Because as I've gotten older, I understand that what I put out, most of it needs to be intentional and more so intentional with my energy, not like the details and how things should be. It's more so what and who am I doing this for? And today I find that writing in my journal, checking in with myself, mirror talk, all of those things, and listening to the voice inside, because there's a voice, and y'all know when y'all ignore that voice, everything just goes wrong.
She gets you.
So I listen to that voice too, and we negotiate, we go over things, but the mental health and checking in with myself has really made me a more secure person.
Mm.
Because growing up, I would look to someone else to tell me how I feel or what I want to do. And when no one tells you that that's not normal and that's not helpful for you and your mental health, you continue to do that. And at some point, I had to unravel and realistically learn that I'm my own person. I have my own standards. I have my own hobbies. I have my own things that I like to do, things, a way about doing things too. So mental health has just led me to knowing that, girl, you're secure, you love you, and it's nothing that anyone can tell me to shake me in my confidence. Yes, it's been a great, big, giant role.
What does balancing safety and pride look like for you in 2025?
That's a fun question. Safety and pride. I love to be myself. You know what I mean? Like I love to be myself. I love to be a Black trans femme, girl. And I think it's so important, and we all know, to know those moments where you're in an unsafe environment. And also, it's kind of like you have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? Because there are always those times when like I'm on the bus and I'm wearing something just like really feminine or whatever, and someone may be looking or this or that, and it's just like, they have no power over me. They cannot hurt me. They can try. But like, it's good to know when it's like I have the mental fortitude to sit in that and still be me. And also, it's important to know when like I'm somewhere and there may be a group of people around that make me feel unsafe. And like I might want to put a little mask on, put my headphones on. I call it my celebrity mode, or I put on sunglasses, a mask, and my headphones. So it's like people just cannot identify me, and I can just keep it pushing, and like no one can speak to me because that makes me feel safe, right? It's balancing what makes you feel safe and what makes you feel you, right? Because the thing I would say is that I do not want to sacrifice myself for somebody else, but I do want to be safe and I want to get home.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
In one piece.
Yeah, yes.
In one piece.
In my beautiful one piece. So, it's about knowing just like, hey, the space does not feel super safe. I'm going to, kind of batten down.
Ooh, dang. Right now, for me, it's looking like processing the decisions that I want to make in terms of being visibly queer, as well as like making sure that I am as radical as possible, because I know that my existence in and of itself is radical, and that is something that certain powers in the system do not want. And
They're
I'm
trying
like,
to get rid of.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, I can't, like, I have to be open, but I also don't want to get hate crime. So, decisions.
That's actually pretty. Making the conscious decision to want to be safe every day is kind of insane, isn't it? To have to make the decision, like, oh, I want to have a good day today. I have to be safe today. Like to think about it is wild.
As well as like, as someone who grew up in a not so LGBT friendly household, it's like, hey, like I'm done with that. Like
That's actually a really good question. I haven't really like set with that, with like the part of, keeping myself safe. I tend to stay in the house a lot. So I guess that's a way of doing so, but I have to go out the house at some point, or be online and see things. So I guess in ways like not being on social media too much, not really checking the news too much to the point where it's like making my anxiety go up or affecting my, moods and stuff like that. Or definitely for like pride, we love a good June, and events are popping up. I have like 2 this weekend, so.
Oh yes.
I know, like it's gonna be so much fun. I'd be low key stressed out because it's one of my favorite events that happens like once every other month. So I really just be trying to get everything under control for it. But it brings me so much joy, like, being able to be around so many other queer people in a space together, like celebrating Pride together. I really love that. It's like it became one of like my second homes. even while being a part of HMI and like
Mhm.
now as an alumni, I'm creating community at this club that I go to, and it's really dope.
Yeah.
That makes me very uncomfortable. And now today I'm very like, no.
Don't like.
And that's worked so fably. I've learned how to really, it helps me understand that I don't have to feel a certain way because somebody did something. Like I can fix it. I can stop it. And I was never privy to that before. I was like, okay, feeling uncomfortable, just gonna feel uncomfortable and wait till this is over. But no.
Nobody told me nothing.
Now I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't appreciate how you did that, and I would really respect it if you just that came to an end right now.
Ooh, that's so stern. I live. That is so stern. Like honesty.
It's like I have to think about the women in my family and the power that they hold and the way they stand their ground. And it's like, yeah, I'm not having this.
I'm not having it.
I'm not having this no more. So I think using my voice and actually voicing boundaries and the way I just laid it out right there, every time I lay it out like that, the girls go, all right,
okay, Miss Thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Thing.
Yeah, that'll never happen again.
You know what you want. You're very clear about your stuff.
Yes, I've learned that my voice and voicing how I feel and basically making it very clear that it won't happen again. I'm not asking you.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you it won't happen again. That has really made my life so much easier. I feel even more secure. And that's the word of the day. Secure.
That's the word of the day.
Because I just feel like, wow, another step towards living a beautiful life like I intend to.
Down. How it was intended to be lived.
Yes. Stop all that.
Stop all that. Well, yes. Yeah. Like I said, we were painting things that we felt in our mind as we were talking. Whatever our minds led us, that's what we did, y'all. So yeah. This one is mine.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, you can do
I feel like mine has a more dour vibe.
I love it though. I want to switch.
So this is mine.
I love it.
And you know what? I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I think showing up in this space, in this job, is also being very authentic with y'all. And I'll be honest, like, clearly, mental health's been better. But I'm still here. I'm still doing me. I'm able to say that and still show up. But especially because I'm able to say that. So thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Very
4, 3, 2, 1. Paint brushes down and turn. These are our paintings. Ready to turn around?
Yeah. Ta-da! It's giving peace, love, and pride.
Okay, happy Pride, y'all. Well, of course, I felt like Bob Ross today.
I love
that. I was just doing stuff and letting the pen go. Y'all know I love me a scenery, y'all.
I love a good rainbow.
This is all right. 1, 2, 3. These are our paintings this time. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. I really like that.
Thank you.
That is so like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just doing stuff.
That's cute. I like it. It reminds me of Mario and Sonic back in the days.
Well, yes, the textiles.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is Great Minds Think Alike. I'm your host, Binky. Over and out. Hi guys, I'm Binky.
I'm Amari. I'm Cindy.
Thank you so much for watching our documentary on mental health. We had so much fun doing this with you guys. Please come back next time to Great Minds Think Alike.